Hey, hey, everybody, OGG, Overt Go Green. How's it going? I got a deck for you guys today, but before we get to the deck, let me ask you 3 questions. How do you feel about decks that have no rares and no mythic rares in them? Are you getting ready to go back to the store and don't know what deck to play and just are looking for something cheap? And would you like to play a deck that you can build if you're just starting Arena or you've been playing a long time? Like you could build this thing right now today? Woo boy, this deck is for you if you answered yes to those questions. This deck right here, I call No Wild White because it takes literally no wild cards to build. Okay? So No Wild White, what is this deck, right? It's effectively mono white boggards. If you're new to Magic, boggard is something that has like hexproof or indestructible. Really hard for your opponent to deal with. So let's just go over the creatures, okay? So creature-wise, we have 4 Seed of Life. It's an enchantment creature. It's a 1/1 lifelinker. You can pay 1 and sack it. Target creature or enchantment you control gains protection from the color of your choice. Protection from means it can't be blocked, right? Obviously, you never want to give your enchanted creature protection from white. Be careful about that because you could throw off all your enchantments. But it's a 1/1 lifelinker and is an enchantment. I got 4 Battlefield Raptor, a 1/2 flying first striker. Just a good overall evasive creature, right? Got 4 Fairy Guide Mother, another 1/1 flyer for just a mana. It has a adventure side, which is 1 and a white. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains flying until end of turn. Super relevant. I don't even care if it's a sorcery. It's just a relevant card overall. Another creature we have here is Selfless Savior. Just a white for a 1/1. Costs no mana. Sack them. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. And then the last creature we have is Ginger Brute, which is just a colorless for an artifact creature. He's a 1/1. He has haste. You pay a mana. He can't be blocked this turn, except by other creatures with haste. Or you pay 2 and tap him, and you sack him, and you gain 3 life. You'll almost never use that in this deck. Just something to keep an eye on. That gives you access to 20 creatures in this deck, and they all cost 1 mana. Okay. The idea here is to get down a creature that's evasive, like Ginger Brood or one of your flyers, maybe even a lifelinker, and start getting him humongous. Okay, and you can get him humongous by using Sentinel's Eyes. Right? Sentinel's Eyes is enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. Right? You can escape it for a mana. So if a creature, if it gets in your graveyard, if it gets milled over, if your opponent manages to kill your creature, you can still get it back. It's not the end of the world. You also have 2 Valor of the Worthy. Right? This helps by replacing a creature. If a creature gets +1/+1, but if it dies, it makes a 1/1 spirit flying token, which is sometimes exactly what this deck needs. Is like, okay, you got me, but now I have a creature backup. Even if it's just a 1/1, you can start re-enchanting it. Pretty relevant, actually. And then lastly, at 1 mana, we have Karametra's Blessing. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Once again, pretty relevant. If it's an enchanted creature or an enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Once again, super relevant. Stops all sorts of spells from getting you. Stops the white spells from getting you. Then we got 4 All That Glitters. This is one of the bombs, right? Like bombs. White 1. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. Keep in mind, this is not just auras. So it's any enchantment, and it counts itself. So, 2 of these on the same guy makes a guy very, very big. Sajiri Shelter. Could be a land. It's land 19 and 20 in this deck, right? Could be a land. Or gives a guy protection from a color of our choice, right? So not bad, not bad. Kind of a cool dual-faced card that you can use at the uncommon slot. And then I have 2 Spectral Steel. Spectral Steel is another card that you can use from the graveyard, and it gets another aura back to your hand, right? A lot of times getting rid of Spectral Steel and getting back an all that glitters is pretty important, okay? This card is pretty relevant, and it's one of the new cards from Kaldheim. So this deck kind of uses cards from across Magic, across Standard right now, which is kind of cool. And then there is 4 Banishing Light, which is the absolute high end of our curve at 3 mana, right? And it's our way to deal with a blocker or a super annoying non-land permanent, right? And then, because I'm a humongous jerk, I put, I think it's 16 different planes. Oh no, 18. 18 different planes. I just went through my land list and put 18 different planes. And then I, like I said, 2 Sajiri shelters. It's a bummer this is called Sajiri Glacier on the other side. And it's not a snow land. You know what? I should put 1 snow in here. You can totally put a snow plains in here if you want to mess with things a little bit, right? But this is no wild white. In paper, this deck would honestly, if you went to the internets and you, I don't know why you need to shop around, but if you shopped around, went to the internets and bought these cards from the internets, you could probably build this deck for well under $10. Okay? If you're on Arena and you're just starting out, this deck's going to win you games. It's going to teach you a little bit about protection from. It has a lot of little rules interactions, has nice synergies, nice combos, shows you don't need you and you'll see in the gameplay video here, if you watch the gameplay video, this deck's going to beat decks that in paper probably cost hundreds with an S on the end of dollars. Okay, and it's a ton of fun to play, and it's, like I said, it's super easy to build. Uses cards from across the gamut of what's in Standard. I'm sure people have suggestions. If you do, please leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoy the content, hit the thumbs up button. And if you'd like to have a deck featured, or one of your decks featured, feel free to shoot me a message and subscribe. That'd be great. I would love to run some viewer-submitted decks. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. And this is OGG out.